Hey everyone, next I'm going to be showing you how to draw your own llama. Llamas are one of my favorite animals right now. They are pretty challenging to draw, one, because we don't have a lot of llamas here in Arkansas where I live. And the more familiar you are with something, the more you're around it, the more you see it, the more you can bring it up in your mind and your imagination, and the more likely you're able to draw that. And because we don't have llamas around us and in our everyday lives, they're a little challenging to draw. Also, llamas have a very unique shape. Their proportions are very unique to them. And if you don't get those proportions right, it turns out looking like a dog or a sheep or even a rabbit. And that's fine. That's why I recommend drawing first with a pencil, and then you can go over it with your Sharpie or your pen or your crayons or marker, whatever you have. But you guys know that I always want you to start with a pencil so you can erase those mistakes. And we are going to get started drawing our llama. First, I'm going to locate the center of my paper, and I'm going to scooch over a tad and then go up a little bit. If you watched my video on the unicorn, I kind of went a little farther. Llamas are their bodies are a little shorter and a little taller than what we would do our unicorns. And again, I'm going to start with the head, and I'm going to do a medium-sized circle. You guys know when I do my circles, I like to move my whole arm. That really helps me feel a rhythm of what that circle should feel like. Beside that circle, I'm going to add just a little C shape. We do not have to make that's going to be the little snout or nose of the llama, and it doesn't have to be super big. Next, I'm going to go ahead and go for the ears, and I'm going to start with doing just this tall, thin rainbow, tall, skinny rainbow shape, like an upside down U. And the next one, the second ear, is going to be on the other side of the llama, so it needs to be a little shorter and a little bit smaller. And it's just going to start at the top of the circle, whereas this one went down a little farther. It broke that circle border. It went down below that line. Now, right now, it kind of looks like some bunny ears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to curve them a little bit at the tops. So I'm just going to add on and curve them. And then I can take my eraser and I can erase those inside pieces of the ear that I don't need anymore, that I drew at first. I'll round that out just a little bit better. It's a little skinnier than I was wanting at the top. And that's the start of your llama ears and head. Next, I'm going to go ahead and go down to the neck. And what I'm going to do for the neck is I'm going to do 2 parallel lines that are not completely vertical. They're slightly slanted. So 2 parallel lines that are slightly slanted downward. And you want these to be a little bit longer than the head is wide. So if you take your fingers and measure how wide that head is, if you kind of turn it and compare it to how long your neck is, you want your neck a little longer than that. In fact, my head's probably a little big for a llama, but that's okay. Because when you're drawing like this, it's okay if the head's a little bit bigger. It kind of makes it a little cuter. Now, From the neck, we're gonna go ahead and shape out the body. And what I'm gonna do for the body is I'm going to sketch out this rectangle shape. We'll round it out and shape it out in just a second. But for now, I'm going to just go ahead and sketch out a rectangle shape for the start of the body. Now, for the back, if you've ever seen a llama, their neck doesn't just come to a 90-degree angle. It's going to naturally curve. So you're going to curve those lines together. We'll eventually erase that part, then we won't need that, all those yucky, scratchy lines anymore. And working on that back of that llama, I'm going to bring it back up and around the back side to kind of curve this rectangle edge into the back side of our llama. And I'm gonna let it kind of curve down to that corner. So if that ends up being a curved line, that's okay. You should be able to follow from the back of the neck down with your finger, around, and it should be this nice little curve and flow. You should be able to see the back side of the neck, down from the back, around the back side of the llama. Now, this is gonna be the chest of the llama. You want it fairly straight. You just might wanna round out the edge of that corner that you sketched earlier. And what we're about to do is we're going to make what is a flat part of our rectangle that we sketched. We're going to turn that into this nice little almost stretched out W shape. It doesn't come to a point, but it's going to be this curved W. So I'm going to swoop it, go up towards the belly and back down, and these are going to be where the legs are. So if you cover up the head, it almost looks like a pair of goggles right here. So if you want to take your eraser real quick and erase some of those yucky sketch lines. They're yucky, but they are still important. They're there for a reason. We drew them for a reason. It's kind of like the skeleton in a human body. We don't see the skeleton or the bones, but they're there and they're important. They have a function. They help provide a structure, and that's what those sketch lines were for. So now we can add our cute little llama tail. I'm just gonna do the little flower petal shape. One little flower petal for his little tail, his or her. I don't know what your llama is yet. And then for the legs, the super easy part are gonna be long, thin rectangles. And they have 4 legs, of course, so we wanna go ahead and do 4. Notice I did 2 of them a little bit longer to make it appear that those are the ones in front. And I did like hooves on the bottom of my llama that I just did like little W shapes. I really did not research what kind of feet llamas have. So I just did little W shapes, and you can leave them flat and square like the one, you know, what I had before, or you can add the cute little hooves like I did. Should probably research that, but it'll work. So now up here, I'm gonna go ahead and erase those original circle lines that I no longer need. So now my head of my llama is all one piece. Gonna erase that part of the circle that broke into that ear. And now here is the fun part. My students know I love Sharpie markers. I think they make your art really pop and look really nice, especially for elementary students. I'm gonna go ahead and with my Sharpie marker or a pen, an ink pen, I'm gonna outline or trace over my ears, add a little curve on the ear that's closest. And instead of just tracing over perfectly the outline of that body, we are going to do a little bumpy line. You can even give it a little wave, a little zigzag here and there. Notice on the head, I did follow that original circle line. But this is the fun part. This is where you're gonna make him fuzzy and fluffy and oh so cute. Just outlining the tail. I'm going to outline the legs normal. I'm going to outline the little snout right here, normal. Now for the eyes, you can do, there's that cute little thing that I've seen lots of people do to show like closed eyes. They just do a curved line with the eyelashes. You can do them like a smile curve like that. Or you can do a frown curve. It's gonna look like closed eyes either way. I'm gonna have my eyes open on my llama, so I'm gonna do one pretty large circle, still on the little fluffy part. And the pupils, I'm going to draw quite large. It's gonna take up at least half of that circle. And you can color it in completely, or you can leave a white space. And then you can add your eyelashes. Llamas have very long eyelashes. For the little nose, I'm gonna do this sideways raindrop. And you can leave it that way, or you can add a little mouth, a little curved mouth. And really your llama is pretty much done at this point. If you wanna add like a cute little circle to show a little pink spot in the cheek, you can. I'm gonna add a little blanket on the back and a little harness around the neck. And this is where I love this part. This is fun, where you get to create your own patterns and use those lines and shapes to make patterns, and you can eventually add your color to it. But this is where you can kind of bring in that South American style, because there are lots of llamas that people in South America use to carry things up in the Andes Mountains in Peru. The people that live there, they use their llamas like other people in other parts of the world use horses or donkeys or even camels. They use these for their pack animals. So they have their little herds and they're able to use them to carry things. And my 4th graders actually read a story. This is on topic, but I need to keep it quick. My 4th grade students read a story called, what was it? Llama's Gift, I think. And it was about a llama, and he ended up finding his gift was carrying gifts for Santa Claus at Christmas, and he had all these gifts stacked on top of him. So anyway, that all was about how llamas are strong and they can carry things. So right here, you're just going to add your very own decorations using lines and shapes. It does not matter what you do. If you keep it basic, like triangles and circles, just repeat those patterns, or repeat those shapes to make patterns. And on the little harness, I'm just going to add some little pom-poms. And then you can add your colors, and you can add, you know, decorations however you want. I'm going to show that my llama lives in a mountainous terrain. And there we go. That is how you draw a llama. Thank you guys for watching, and all that llama information, I am so sorry if I got anything wrong. I'm not a llama expert. That was just stuff coming to me off the top of my head. So I hope you guys can enjoy that without critiquing me too harshly. Thank you.